I have always known my mom would be this stubborn. Whenever I wanted to do something, she always contradicts. I even think that she doesn't love me that much because she doesn't want me to be happy, ever since I was a kid. I always lived to her rule. I always nod and agreed with whatever she says. It's always been her and me as far as I can remember. She worked hard to feed me and give me the basic needs that a normal kid should have. Shelter, clothes, food. That's it. We seldom go out, and those were the best times for me whenever it happens. And that was just a yearly event. Every year, on my birthday. Though she seldom gives in to my wants, she always provides me with my needs. Good thing I can make yearly requests without questions and what-ifs. My mom becomes Miss because I said so when I reached 13 years old. She always says no whenever I want to buy something for myself. And whenever I asked her why I couldn't have it, she always answered, because I said so. That's it. There was a time when I saw these designer shoes when strolling in the mall with my friends after school before going home. I saw that it is kind of pricey, but it looks so good, and I know it would look much nicer with my feet on it. My heart went out upon seeing the red shoes, and I knew everyone would envy me if I had those on. As a teenager, at that time I felt like it's my right to get that thing and I would die if I did not have it. I know very well that my birthday has passed and I cannot claim another request as per my mom's rule. I really don't know where she got that idea though. For me, that is absurd. Why can't she be like any other normal moms? Like my friends' moms who always give in to their requests. At that, I felt so unloved. Mom, I started. With my hands at my back, crossing my fingers. She was sitting on the couch with his feet up to the table. She just came home from work. I actually don't know what kind of work she does right now, as she is not at home almost the whole day and night. I know that she is a nurse and works in the morning. My friend's mom and my mom are co-workers. But I am not seeing her even on her rest days lately. She said she needs to work harder for my college, so I assumed she got another job. Yes. She said bluntly and looked so dead tired. Can I buy those shoes I saw in the mall earlier today? Why? What happened to your old shoes? You still have 2 pairs that are still good to wear, right? Yes, Mom. It is just that the shoes that I saw are so nice and I know that they would look much better with me wearing them. I do love the shoes, Mom. Can you please give me money to buy it? I begged. Chloe, we already talk about having priorities. Those are the things that you want, not what you need. You can still wear the old one. Why buy new? Because I am a teenager, Mom, and teenagers ought to look good, I answered teary-eyed. You do look good, honey. You are and you always will. With or without those shoes, but Mom, why? Why can't I have those shoes when all the kids of my age can? My mom sighed in submission and looked me straight in the eye. Because I said so. Here we go again with those words I so much hate to hear. With that, my heart was totally broken and I ran to my room and slammed the door. Leaving my mom that I didn't know shed a tear. Things have always been like that thereafter as the years passed. Whenever I begged for my wants, she always answered me with a no, followed by, because I said so. And I always ended up broken-hearted. At 16 years old, I learned to earn money for myself. Without my mom's knowledge, every evening when she left for his other job. I also left the house to work as a part-time helper in a restaurant near our place. I worked as a dishwasher and realized that the job was not easy at all. I can feel the sweat flowing at my back as I work. But then, I decided to stay and keep working so I can buy the wants that Mom refused to provide. I am paid every day after my 4-hour shift and made sure that I got home before Mom arrived at 12 million. I was paid $10 every night for 4 hours and I kept and hid it from my mom. The owner, who happens to be Mom's friend, luckily agreed that we can keep it a secret. Months went on and I enjoyed my life with having money of my own to buy the things that I want. I knew Mom saw the things that I have and I wondered why she never asked me where I got the money. Until one day, as I am very busy washing a pile of soiled dishes and working hard till it pains my hands, I got wounded by a broken plate and sliced my hand accidentally. The owner ordered me to go home for the night and rest my wounded hand. I was astonished to see my mom waiting for me outside the restaurant. She looked not so happy at all. I felt half guilty. Only half, as I knew to myself I wouldn't be doing this if only she gives me money for the things that I want and not just for what I need. I really.
And some have greatness thrust upon them. This story contains themes or mentions of suicide or self-harm. The title is a quotation from William Shakespeare. Elise tucked the two kids into bed. They were 5 and 7 now, and after a year of babysitting for them they still had the old habit of sleeping in the same bed. They both had angelic blonde hair falling into their faces. A boy and a girl, though in the darkness of the room it was hard to tell them apart. Do you believe in God? June's wide blue eyes opened. Elise had thought she was asleep. She chuckled. I don't really know, honey, why not? June frowned. Kids were hard to please if you didn't answer all of their questions. Well, I've just never seen any evidence of something like that. I suppose it's not something I think about a whole lot of the time. June seemed disappointed. Michael peeped up, a precocious 7-year-old always willing to share his knowledge. I read in the Bible that if you don't believe in God, you don't get to go to heaven, where the saved people go. You actually get sent to hell, to burn on fire with the devil and all of his creatures in eternity. Elise tried to shush them. Michael, it's not good to think about those things before bed. If I ask you to believe in God, for me, can you? June asked. Her plump face looked at her expectantly. Elise felt her heart soften. The 5-year-old was looking out for her so-called spiritual welfare. Okay. Yes. I'll believe in God from now on. She tried her best to show a sincere smile that seemed to appease the little girl, and the brother and sister settled down. Elise walked out of the yellow bedroom, gently closing the door and facing the light of the hallway. She didn't mind babysitting, but to be honest, sometimes Michael and June, out of all the others, really stressed her out. It was their intensity. How they meant everything they said, and believed grown-ups did too. How decent and how much better they were than her. She almost felt a flash of anger as she sat on the couch and took out her phone, scrolling through Instagram. It wasn't long before Elise was utterly distracted by the glowing faces of those she barely knew and those she didn't know at all. She looked at how many likes people got for a certain photo. She looked at how many followers the really attractive girls had. The next morning Elise sat and watched the news. It was more depressing facts about the instability of the economy. The government doing all they could for COVID-19, the truckers and the protesters who were actually serious, and wouldn't stop. She ate her frosted flakes and made instant coffee as the TV blabbered on. It was good to have white noise, to have someone talking in the background. Otherwise the whole new apartment held disquiet, and she'd fidget with her hands and not know what to do. Elise looked at her figure in the mirror. She sighed and swore, briefly. Simply not good enough. She'd gained more than several pounds after coming out of her final year of university. And though her friends assured her you couldn't tell, Elise grabbed her iPod and her headphones and headed out for a morning run. She was listening to the old stuff. The songs she actually liked. Katy Perry's Eat It. And then as the song changed to Wide Awake, her mood felt young and innocent as she glanced at the thawing grass on neighborhood lawns. Maybe today would be a good day. She didn't see the car coming round. She was almost singing along, despite how she was usually conservative and self-conscious. When a horn blared and before she knew it, something heavy hit her from behind and she stumbled into a ditch. Her head hit the ground, pure, visceral pain. She couldn't move. She tried to say something as a concerned guy with a beard got out of the car that hit her, but all that came out of her mouth was a choking sound. Oh my God, I'm gonna call the ambulance right now, the guy stuttered. He looked like a decent person who had just made a mistake. Elise spent 2 weeks in the hospital. There was damage to her skull that got repaired through surgery, but no damage reported to her brain. She felt the world slow, and the moments felt like eons of time stretching out before her. She spent the days sitting on the blue blanket on her hospital bed. shutting her eyes or looking out the window. It was during that time that strange things started to happen. She had daydreams. She had never been the type for fantasies, to really fill her mental space with things that weren't there. But now, all at once, beautiful images came to her mind. She imagined a garden full of white lilies, so many that it looked like snow, and they were all ruffling in the breeze, and she could smell them. She imagined music. She made up symphonies in her mind that were full-length. An hour composed of 5 different movements, complete with a moving refrain from the strings section in her imaginary orchestra that her M.